Assalamualaikum. My name is Nuramirah Afifah Binti Roslee, and I would like to present about the introduction. Ordinance may be defined as an authoritative order or guidance, and also may be defined as a regulation formed by political authority. The State Ministry, the Ministry of Local Government and Housing, established for the first time after the 1963 state election, governs the operation of local authorities in the state. The ordinance may be cited as the Local Government Ordinance of 1961 and shall enter into force on the date to be appointed by the Governor, noticed in the Gazette. Subject to the provision of this ordinance yang di-Pertuan Negeri may be means of an instrument published in the Gazette, set up such district council, town council or municipal council in any part of Sabah. Subject to the provisions of this ordinance as may be considered necessary or appropriate for the purpose of local government. Next one is public places, streets in urban area, as reported in the Borneo Today's News, which is initiative of the Ministry of Local Government and Housing to increase of public parks in the Saba to provide comfort to recreational people by conducting a walking visit to Beaufort Lake Park. The study case that can be used as an example of Section 38 is the upgrading of public park also need focus. In addition to efforts to develop the public market in all areas of the local authority. That is because leisure areas are vital to the community. Because by performing fitness activities, they need to preserve health. Datuk Jaujan Sabakop, Deputy Chief Minister of Local Government and Housing, also agrees to accelerate the initiative to improve this recreational park as it is a positive thing to our society. It also can help to build job recreational parks. Other than that, not just recreational events, but also group initiative, family days, and more can be used in such park. With this outdoor park, individuals no longer to rent costly places to do recreational activities, since it can draw a visitor to visit the park and improve leisure park can also certainly boost economic growth.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alina Binti Mamat. Today, I will continue to present about the function of authority. The second one is recovery of cost of new streets in urban area. Local authority plays an imperative role to facilitate the economic activities and development of a region, especially in delivering public goods and services that are particular to the localities. Sabah is governed by the Local Government Ordinance 1961. The local authority is created in order to keep a step closer to the people so that the voices, demands and needs from the people can be heard by the government. For Section 39, Clause 1 in Local Government Ordinance 1961, function local authority are recovery of costs of new street in urban area. It may recover the cost of acquiring the land for constructing road, street, bridge, ferry or tunnel from the owners of the premise adjoining thereto or fronting or abutting thereon. The plan includes expansion projects and new roads that will improve connectivity through the region, which will provide the state district with a number of economic opportunities. The major towns of Kota Kinabalu, Sandakan, Lahad Datu, Tawaf and Keningau are not well interconnected when compared to the road network in Peninsular Malaysia. This is supported by the fact that there is a lower standard highway road that link distant towns like Sandakan, Tawau, Lahad Datu and Semporna with Kota Kinabalu. Given present requirements, there is need to upgrade these roads. For instance, the road pavement and shoulder width are now too narrow and inadequate to meet the demand of present traffic volume. Next, for Section 39 Clause 2 stated that such costs shall be paid by the person who are the owners when the work is completed according to the frontage of their respective premises in such proposition as are settled by agreement or in default of agreement as may be decided by the authority whose decision shall be final, provided that no owner shall be called upon to pay a greater sum than half of that by which his holding has been appreciated in value by reason of the road, street, bridge, ferry, culvert or tunnel having been constructed. For Section 39 Clause 3, in order to arrive at such appreciation in value, the authority shall cause a valuation to be made of the premise, fronting, adjoining or abutting upon the line of such road, street, bridge, ferry, culvert or tunnel at the time the consent of the minister is given under Section 38, and a further valuation to be made as soon as the road, street, bridge, ferry, culvert or tunnel is complete.
Hi, my name is Amirah Mamat and today I represent provision that relate to its financial under the point obligatory grants from public revenue. There should be a payable by the government to the authority annually by the 31st day of March for every year. For example, the general provision for the Peninsula Malaysia revenue of the local authority as stated under Part 5 Section 39 of the Local Government Act 1976 as for the Saba and Sarawak, it is governed by respective ordinance. For instance, Saba is under Local Government Ordinance 1961 and Sarawak is under Local Authority Ordinance 1948. Local government revenue can be obtained from within local sources, for example, like tax, license and permits, rent, fees, and fines. The local government finance is different from state and federal government, where local government receives small amount of finance rather than federal and state. Next, the first obligatory grant from public revenue is tax. This assessment that is imposed on the holding of the property of the administration of local authority. Most of the activities of local authorities, known as public goods such as public health and beauty of the city, is among the services funded by this tax. For example, the Sabah Local Government and Housing Ministry today signed a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) with the Inland Revenue Board (IRB) to improve the delivery of services and facilitate information sharing for the purpose of increasing tax impositions. Next, second obligatory grant from public revenue is license and permits. License is also a major source of income for local authority, where the local government act give wide power to local authorities to register, license, and regulate trade, commerce, and industry. The fees collected from license will contribute to the revenue of the local government. The charge imposed by local government by every category of license. License is a tool of controlling the establishment, ownership, and operation of a business, and it is under jurisdiction of local authorities. Jurisdiction for the license of a business is conditional. However, in Malaysia, the granting of license by local authorities for nearly all type of business that are not registered and regulated under other act without reference to the term harm and nuisance. For example, in Kota Kinabalu, 5 local authority PBT received application guideline on operating license approval manual from State Local Government and Housing Minister Datuk Jaujan Sambakong at the hotel as the guideline demonstrate the transparency of PBT in improving quality in their services delivery for a better, faster and more efficient system that has always been emphasized by the government. Better regulation provide excellent service delivery to the public, which is the main core of the state public service. to support the state government under the new government to bring a more developed and prosperous community. Next, the obligatory grant from public revenue is rental. These are charges or fees imposed upon user of rental of local government authority property. Generally, all local authorities in Malaysia let out market spaces and stall, hawker and business complex, community balls and not market trading site to the trader. Rental rate imposed by local government are usually much lower than the gross rental market by the private sector. The problem as different resources rent is the aspect of the collection and enforcement, because those who are rent are mostly small businesses who cannot afford to pay it. For example, thousands of pupil housing project PPR occupant in Saba will soon be able to buy this unit following the approval from the federal government to convert the rent to own scheme. Housing and Local Government Minister Zulhairi, who disclosed this, stated that the state government applied to have the lifetime rental policy for the PPR unit stopped and converted it to hire purchase concept. Next, the obligatory grant from public revenue is fees and charge. Local authority carry out various activities and provide facilities for the local community. Local authority also can impose charge for services rendered. This facility is provided on a fee or reasonable rate. These sources produce no less than 10% of total revenue for local authority. They collect fees and services charged under the Town and Country Planning Act 1976. Besides that, the fees were imposed for facility health clinics, veterinary clinic, use of tool and recreational facilities such as swimming pool, tennis and soccer field, libraries and other. The fees and charge may differ from one local authority to another. Is fines. Fines are sources of instability. These resources cannot be expected to produce regular financial flow. Fines and compound only by local authority for offences such as littering, dumping of household refuse, hawking without valid license, illegal or wrongful parking within the local authority area. For example, in Saba, if you do not show your parking card, you will be charged 30 ringgit within 30 days, and if you still resist to pay, you will be charged 50 ringgit after 30 days and 100 ringgit after 60 days. All this money will go to the local government Sabah as a fund for other activities and programs.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Farah Idayu Binti Zulhairi. Today I will explain about power to raise loan. Power to raise loan means that the authority have their own power to increase the loan. In section 58 bracket 1, the Local Government Ordinance 1961 state that the authority allowed and forceful to set the loan when it's approved by the 2/3 majority present and the voting during the state meet. The state must be placed by resolution to increase the loans at such as amount, and the minister must approve the statement. For example, the Sabah government present the 2020 budget amount to 4.143 billion and estimate the next year's budget is 4.9192 billion. And for the next second budget, which is the changes of the government, the meeting was held that the state government has allocated raised 1 to 4.35 billion to the Sabah Ministry of Rural. It is to improve the development in Sabah and improve the living standard of the people in the rural area, to increase the economic growth, the human capital development, and enabling development such as the information and the communication technology, which is ICT. And the statement has approved by the Muhammad Shafi Afdal, who is the president, who is the Ministry of Sabah Heritage Party. Okay, for the next point that state in the section 58 bracket 2, the Local Government Ordinance 1961 state that the power to increase the loan from the authority must refer to the ordinance and other law for the time being, and the Minister of the Finance can withdraw the public income or other money for something specific that getting benefit to the state. Although the granting of a loan to the authority must be subject to the term and condition that must be complied with to obtain the loan. It means that the local government can get the loan from the government in the time that needed. Beside that, the government must comply the term and condition to obtain the law. For example, the increase in the COVID-19 epidemic in Saba has led to an increase in the unemployment rate. The Sabah State Legislative Assembly state that a total of 1.06 billion Sabahans have benefit from the state governments allocated to 190 ringgit million for COVID-19 assistance. Okay, next, the third section is the section 58 bracket 3 in the Local Government Ordinance 1961 state that the loans given by the government to the authority are legally born. These loans are intended to acquire lands or acquire such as work, scheme, effort or asset until the expiration of the loan contract granted by the government. In the other word, government property lends to the state government for their current use. Although, beside that, the loan of the government asset to the state government is for public use. For example, the provision of facilities in the schools such as the desk, chair, computer, buildings that provided for UiTM Saba. This is intended to provide the comfort to students as well as employees to carry out their works. Although the government property needs to be well cared for and used for a long time. Okay, next, under section 58 bracket 4 in the Local Government Ordinance 1961 state that the condition that must be observed by the Ministry of Finance to consider eligibility and provided loans to the state government that must be complied in the Local Government Ordinance 1961. Under section 58 bracket 4a state the amount of debt to be paid by the authority to the government is sufficient according to collateral for its payment. It means that the value of the loan that state government must be paid to the government does not exceed the value of collateral, because when the authority is unable to repay the government's loan, the government can take beating the property according to the value borrowed by the state government. Okay, next, under section 58 bracket 4b state that the government will allow load funds of the work performed by the authority can benefit to the public. It means that the authority needs to plan a program that benefits to the government so that the loan fund requests will be allowed by the government, such as program, community program and educational program to the community that give benefits to our country. In addition, under section 58 bracket 4c state that the purpose of the program can give a long-term effect and carry out the continuous work. For example, that I can give to you is the construction of fishing village housing in Sabah. The program for construction of the village can give a good and lasting effect on to the people in Sabah to live their daily life. As we know, most of the Sabah people work as fishermen, and when the state provide or upgrade the village such as jetty, such as road, this is more easier for people in Sabah to doing their job and selling their product. Okay, last but not least, based on section 58 bracket 5, the Local Government Ordinance 1961 state that the loan granted by the government should be based on the ordinance. In addition, the loan made by the authority must refer to the previous loan or advance loan provided by the government under the provision of this ordinance, or any previous changes of or hypothesis. This refer become the first charge on the income and the asset of the authority, which obtain a loan from the government. In the other word, the state government should refer the previous loan, advance loan, charges or hypothesis before applying for a loan to the government.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Ezlisha Binti Azahar. Moving on to the next point, which is the improvement of local authorities in Sabah. So let's take a look to the first main point, which is development in Kota Kinabalu. Kota Kinabalu City Hall has planned for the development of Kota Kinabalu City by formulating Kota Kinabalu Structure Plan 2030. It is because by the year 2030, Kota Kinabalu City Hall has estimated an increased amount of population, high demand of landed properties, and also to improve the infrastructure in order to make the life of Kota Kinabalu's people becoming more easier. In line with the mission of Kota Kinabalu City Hall, which is to improve and upgrade local living standard, there are two aspects in the Kota Kinabalu Structure Plan 2030 that have been highlighted, which is housing and also commercial. Housing development is very important as Sabah has recorded a stable increase in number of population as of year 2020. Therefore, Kota Kinabalu require at least an amount of 100,000 new dwellings before 2030 in order to accommodate with the needs of the people. The 100,000 dwellings will be divided into three parts, which is the first part is 40,000 dwellings, which is specifically to meet the population increase alone. Next, 30,000 dwellings is for replacing the squatter and also transition housing, and the remaining 30,000 dwelling is to replace the aging housing stock. The only option for developing new housing area will be the development of greenfield sites or through the combination of development of greenfield and redevelopment of brownfield site. Next, in terms of commercial development, Kota Kinabalu City Hall aims to provide facilities that can give benefits to Kota Kinabalu's people. For instance, Kota Kinabalu City Hall will install safe pedestrian crossing and overhead bridges in the existing towns where these are required in order to prevent the pedestrian having an accident while crossing a major road. Moreover, Kota Kinabalu City Hall also encourage developers to reserve sites for key use such as bank, post office, hospitals in town center. That way, the town center will be attractive and convenient for customers to make their business as everything that they needed are available in the town center.
Hi, Assalamualaikum, and very good morning to Miss Shaida and to all my friends. My name is Aina Sofiya, and today I would like to present on the point of improvement performance in local government Sabah, which is the environmental programs in Sabah. In Sabah, the local solid waste is under the responsibility of the City Municipal Council according to the Local Government Ordinance 1961, where the local government is responsible for the collection, treatment and disposal of solid waste. This means that the local government is responsible for keeping the town clean, offering facilities for waste disposal, drain cleaning and also grass cutting. In this case, I would like to have an example of Kota Kinabalu City Hall, which administers Kota Kinabalu City and District. The Director General under the Department of Landscape is the one who is responsible in environmental services, which headed by Director General Robert Lippin. Kota Kinabalu City Hall has implemented various programs regarding the cleanliness in the city. These programs are in line with the City Hall's mission, which is to administer Kota Kinabalu City through efficient and effective services with sustainable development. Hence, that is why KKCH Kota Kinabalu City Hall came up with these programs, namely Anti-Litter Bugs campaign, reduction plastic bag usage, and also recycling programs. For the first program, Kota Kinabalu City Hall has implemented a program called Anti-Litter Bug Campaign. This program is an alternative solution to enhance and preserve cleanliness in urban environments. It was introduced in 2008 after previous cleanliness campaigns by the City Hall has failed to produce significant improvement to the standard of cleanliness in Kota Kinabalu. There was more than 1,200 workers led the mayor to collect garbage right on the roadside from Kota Kinabalu to the Tuaran boundary, and it was a major clean-up campaign carried out by the local authorities. The anti-litter bug campaign is a two-pronged strategy which includes the incorporating awareness and compliance initiatives. It also focuses on the root cause of the litter bugs problem. So next is the second program implemented by Kota Kinabalu City Hall is reduction of plastic bag usage. It is very important for all people in the world to reduce the usage of plastic bags because plastic bags tend to severely disrupt the climate. Plastic bags is even dangerous for animals that they can get choked and die. Luckily, Malaysia has acknowledged the effects of using the plastic bags which leads harm to the environment. Thus, Kota Kinabalu City Hall has come out with this program to achieve the sustainable living objective. The first program, Reduction of Plastic Bag Usage campaign implemented by the Kota Kinabalu City Hall, was launched on 7 June 2012 at Sunny Supermarket, Kota Kinabalu. This program has implemented new rules that in line with the government's direction towards zero plastic usage in the state and region, where the customers in the city needs to pay 20 cents for each plastic bag when shopping. Apart from that, this program also been created to create awareness among consumers to minimize the usage of traditional plastic bags and to encourage the usage of reusable and owned bags while shopping. Examples of premises which have participated in the campaigns are Giant, 99 Speed Mart, KFC, 7-Eleven, Sunny Supermarket, and Guardian. The third program under the environmental projects that implemented by Kota Kinabalu City Hall is Recycling Program. The City Hall established some recycle center in Kota Kinabalu. Kota Kinabalu City Hall is dedicated to strengthening the passion of the people for the environment and recycling practice through its innovative Upcycle and Eco Bag for Green City program. This program was held at the compound of the DBKK building and was attended by over 100 people including the youth and school children in efforts to ensure Kota Kinabalu stay clean, beautiful and free from rubbish such as plastic waste. This program will be implemented on the third Sunday of each month with the initiative that aims to raise public understanding of clean culture as well as to embrace beautiful and safe environment through the adoption of recycling and the enhancement of solid waste management practices.
Conclusion, it is very important for the local authority to be given the definite and full authority or power in carrying out duty to ensure the effectiveness of its function and indirectly ease the decision-making process. The income and resources of the local authority must be suitable with its duty and function so that it can deliver the job within its own institution based on their capability as the responsible authority in managing the local matter. Empowerment of the local authority, particularly on the human resources, independency of local government and development, control instruments should be able to overcome the existing problem with regard to the provision of quality urban services in the coastal reclamation area. However, intervention by upper-level government and the political decision must be avoided so that the decision made by the local authority can be materialized. Nevertheless, the monitoring process is also essential in ensuring that the financial allocation is well spent by the local authority. Further understanding the laws and regulation by the local authority will help the local authority to explore an alternative area for local government to generate additional revenue in order to reduce the dependency of the local government to the federal state government. Good physical planning comes with good urban planning governance. For that reason, the local authority should initiate a paradigm shift in governing their territorial area in trying to provide a quality urban service in land reclamation area.